a better sense of how powerful they are. For the very first time in Long Island, not only did the Suffolk County PBA, but the Nassau County PBA supported these candidates, right? So this is no small thing that's going on. Now, I'm going to say just a couple other things, and I'll be quiet because you may have some questions. Some people have said to me, well, you know, why are you doing this, right? And what happens if the opposition starts to turn over school boards and fire superintendents and fire district office staff and fire teachers and on and on and on? And what I tell people, and you know, part of the reason why we have to tell our history is that you don't always get in a fight just because you know you're going to win. And I want to say that again, because sometimes it's very telling. You know, you learn a lot about a person if the only time they're ready to fight is if they know they're going to win. Sometimes you got to get in a struggle because it's the right thing to do. You may not know what's around the corner. In fact, what's around the corner may not be as important as the actions that you take in the moment. And so what I would say to everyone is that we're in this, you know, we're in this until it's over. And I am thankful. I will tell you that, you know, you can't imagine how thankful I was to receive the letter from OSG. You know, it was just heartwarming, Dennis, when I got your letter. And I have to say publicly to everyone, the first letter we received was from Dr. Bernard Gassaway. And then to receive the letter from April and Allison Farrington. And I'm not going to divulge all of what they said, but it was perhaps for me one of the two of the more inspiring communications that have ever been written in support of anything that I've ever done. And I just want to thank you all and the public for supporting us in what we do, because this is not about me. You know, this is about our children and about our future. So I'll just stop there.
You know, Dr. Young, first I want to tell you that I watched the election, and it was for a few minutes, it was the most nerve-wracking thing, because in my mind, in my heart, kept saying, is it really possible right now that this vote will not go through, that it will not be pushed through? And when it went through unanimously, I got up, I was in my office celebrating. And I'm going to be really honest, and in the moment of celebration, I was saddened a little bit to think that, one, I had to go through that emotional roller coaster to worry that something that just makes so much sense to our lives could have possibly not been passed. And then there was a sense of shame in my celebration. The fact that we are in the year 2021, and this is the conversation that we're having. Thank you. You know, thank you for everything that, not that you're doing now, that you've always done for us. You really have paved the way for all of us to come through. And those who know you, we don't just know you, Dr. Young. We honor you. We honor your struggle. We honor your courage. And I just, you know, there was a lot of conversation happening before, you know, around the letters and the Smithstown video and what was happening. And I found myself struggling with getting our people, like individuals, to understand the importance of organizing, the importance of coming together and having our voices heard in support of. And I think that we're in a place, many of us are in a place where we take for granted that certain things are just going to happen. And they still continue to underestimate the power of that organized, I want to call them an enemy because they're really an enemy. They're not, it's not that just they don't like us. They want to see us continue to fail and worse. So I'm thankful that you're here today. It's an honor to have you here, but I know that everyone hearing your voice right now and speaking to the importance of the support and the importance of, organizing and being ready, because the battle is just really beginning. The unimaginable happened, right? Because again, we were hoping and praying that there would be no way that the DEI framework would not be passed. Yet it was a concern. That's our reality. And now the real war starts.
Let me just jump in real quick. And Dr. Young, again, I want to publicly applaud you for your courage and your willingness to do the things that many people talk about and really just fall flat when it comes to the actions. So, I probably want to believe more than anything that, the thing that happened in Smithtown is just a minority, that the majority of people in New York City, New York State, and abroad want to see the type of change that you're talking about. And so we stand firm with you in your belief that this is what's right for not only Black Americans, not just for, any other ethnic group, but the world in itself. All humanity benefits from what you're doing. And so I thank you so much for your courage and for stepping out and doing the thing that, again, everybody talks about. So just stand firm and believe, man, that this work is reaching the people that it needs to reach. So we salute you big time, and we thank you for taking the time to come and hang out with us, for a little bit tonight. You already know OSG welcomes you with open arms, and I think other people want to hear a little more from you on an upcoming episode with the principals at on our Thursday meeting. But again, thank you so much. I know April mentioned that you may have to leave out of here a little early, so we just want to thank you on behalf of OSG. I just want to say thank you again.
And if you don't mind, D, I just want to to Dr. Young, I mean, what he's doing is so important, because what he's asking us to do is he's asking us to hold history accountable for the ills. And a lot of times when people don't want to hold the history accountable, and he wants to teach that lesson, so they're going to fight that. So just like they're being organized and small, but they're bigger than we think they are, because the nod and the tick and the handshake still works out there for some of these people that are fighting against us. So the courage that Dr. Young has put into getting this thing going is something that we now have to take. He's handing us the alley-oop, and we have to dunk the ball now. We have to now continue to fight the good fight for him, because he's fought this fight for so long. So we have to not only support him, but we now have to lead the charge. So we appreciate and salute you, Dr. Young. And as I was saying to Dr. Gasaway and Dr. Farrington, how great you are and what you're doing for the education of our Black and brown children and all children in our communities. Thank you so much, sir.
Well, thank you. And this is kind of like a conversation opportunity. I don't always have an opportunity. I'm in meetings, but I don't always get to talk to family. So whenever I do, I should take advantage of it. A couple other things you should know, and this is important. When we passed the policy, we did two things last Monday. We passed the policy, but we also unveiled what we call the seal of civic readiness, right? Which essentially says that we've got to help our young people to become more civically prepared and engaged, right? And if anything taught us why we need to do that, it was the election that occurred when Trump was elected. And so we have got to help our young people understand their obligation to not only be aware, but to be engaged and to help our people in our communities. Now, we advance that, and because it's a regulation, we have to, the law says we have to put the regulation out for 30 days for public comment. And so here's what the opposition is doing. They're saying that not only is there something wrong with the framework, but what's wrong with the framework is also wrong with civic engagement. They're saying, we're saying civic engagement, and they're saying, well, that's another way to indoctrinate children, and it's un-American. Now think about that. Mm-hmm. And that's the line that they're taking. So it has nothing to do with the truth. It has nothing to do with evidence. You know, they have a script, and they're going to keep saying it over and over and over until some people get it, right? And then they are hoping that if enough people start to believe it, then it will motivate them to action. And so what I think we've got to do, I mean, we have to do what we've always done, but I think it's going to be important that we have to be smarter than they are, right? And we have to act on some of these things, and we have to call out some of this stuff. Because don't you want your young people to be civically engaged? I mean, don't we want our youngsters to be financially aware and prepared? Do we know what happens to our young people when they're not financially literate? How they get crushed and destroyed, and manipulated. And so why wouldn't we want that for all young people? And so all I'm saying to you is this opposition, this is not about ideology. This is really about, when they actually said, we want life to be the way it used to be. I mean, that's the kind of rhetoric they're using. You know, we want it to go back to the way it was. We don't need teacher diversity. We don't need equity. And we're allowing this to happen. So I just think we've got to be more articulate and more focused about what we need. And we do have to have an agenda, just the same way they have an agenda. So I'll stop there. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Young. Dr. Farrington, you wanted to chime in?
So, Dr. Young, in my letter, in the first paragraph, one of the things that I wrote is that I likened you to Frederick Douglass and his pursuit of freedom for all people. And the quote that I used was, once thoroughly broken down, who is he that can repair the damage? And I focused on the word damage, but I think that the quote was taken the wrong way. The damage are not us and our children. The damage are those who do not believe in our children. The damage is all of the systems that are surrounding our children that make your job so difficult. I applaud you. I'm standing with you. I'm beside you. I'm behind you. I'm in front of you. Because you are the person that is carrying this beacon of freedom. But the damage are those that try to put a noose on the neck of the learning of our children. And I will not allow that to happen, provided that I'm a leader.
Thank you. Thank you again, Dr. Young. Dr. Young, just know you've heard all of our voices. We are here with you, beside you, in front of you, and behind you. And we still can benefit from your guidance and leadership to bring others along in the sense of organizing and moving our people from the place of complacency to urgency, and understanding that we can no longer be the exception. It's past time that we become the rule. So I look forward to more conversations and your leadership and your guidance. We will be held accountable, and we appreciate you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. I hope, and Dennis, I heard you, brother. You just sent me the invitation, and I will be there.
Thank you, and congratulations. I know Dr. Young, you're running. You're actually an honoree this evening.
Well,
Another one of your many, many, many well-deserved accolades. So congratulations.
well, this is for our young people, right? We do this for our children. That's why we're here.
Yes.
We just have to keep that in the uppermost parts of our minds. So I want to thank you, and unfortunately, I gotta check. Okay.
Salute you.
All right. Listen, brother Bernard.
Wow. It's
very powerful conversation. First of all, April, let me stop you for a second while you gather your thoughts. And I just want to just move the conversation along. You take a second, sister, because you are a powerful person. You are the person that's able to bring not only the powerful people that are in this room, but also people with the likes of Dr. Lester Young. You're able to bring those people together. So there is a magic and a spirit in you that is definitely very powerful. And sometimes words can't describe it. But I really wanted to bring the question to Dr. Gasaway, and I've been waiting for his opinion on this because he knows about all of the fights that Dr. Young has been having. He's a part of the fight. He has been fighting this fight for a long time. How do you feel, Dr. Gasaway, about all of the groundswell of opposition to some of these policies that are being put in place now? And do you feel as if we're gonna be able to fight this sort of sleeping giant that's been awakened? Just unmute yourself, sir.
I apologize. The most famous phrase that we have nowadays, you're muted, right?
Yeah.
And that's probably symbolic of us as a people, because I think that we are muted. I'll take an opportunity to take advantage of that fact that we self-mute ourselves because we are afraid, frankly. Some of us, where you have people like Dr. Young, who is on the front line, and we talk about threats or danger. These are not just words; these are realities in terms of what someone like him has to face. But I know that I've asked people to simply write a letter of support for the frame or for the policy, and people are afraid to do that. So I'm not. On one hand, I'm optimistic because we have someone like Dr. Young there, but on the other hand, I'm pessimistic in the fact that we are not behind in the way we should be. Yes, the people on this show are behind him, but in terms of the masses, we are complacent, and we are simply just sitting by, watching what happens, because frankly, some people are just afraid, spooked, whatever term you want to use, and it's very sad. Whereas these opposition, they're very open with their opposition. They're going on YouTube. They're not wearing a mask or a hood. They are putting their faces on what they believe, but they know that at the end of the day, that our people, unfortunately, will be afraid, and fear is the greatest inhibitor, I think, to progress. Maybe someone else has said that, but I'll say it now. And so we need to really, really get behind Dr. Young and keep the letters going, keep the letters coming. It's not over yet. They need to know almost on a daily, weekly basis that the masses of us, those who are supporting these initiatives, are behind them.
Dr. Farrington, thank you, Dr. Gasaway. Dr. Farrington, before
Wait, Legs, can actually, right now, I think this is the perfect time to bring in my next surprise.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, yeah, always got something up your sleeve. Always got some up your sleeve.
Yeah, I have. This is the perfect time, in the conversation that Dr. Young left us with in regards to bringing in our community, raising our community, civic engagement in our young people. And so Dr. Farrington and Dr. Gasaway, they don't know that I had a surprise in store for them this evening. And I want to bring in a graduate, Dr. Gasaway, who just happens to be the first Nigerian elected to the Albany County Legislature. Please bring in Barrero Efekoro.
Yeah, it is a surprise.
Thank you very much for having me.
And one of Dr. Farrington's many graduates. Let's bring in Ms. Jada Leslie.
Hi, y'all. Hi, Miss Farrington.
So this was a surprise, right? And 2 weeks ago, the talk was about the amazing things you all do and have done in your roles as leaders, right? But one thing I realize is that sometimes when people are watching us or just listening to us, we can come across as just people telling a story that sounds too good to be true. Like, as a matter of fact, I know for a fact there are people just like, yeah, nah, their story is extremely too good to be true. And I thought, what better way could I show the people that there are real victories in the work that Dr. Farrington and Dr. Gasaway have done and do day in and day out. But bringing in just two, and these are just two amazing examples of their hard work. I know Dr. Farrington, I knew what to expect when I surprised you. So keep it together, my sister. You know, Jada is a fruit of your labor. Barrero is a fruit of your labor, Dr. Gasaway. And Dr. Young just schooled everybody the importance of civic engagement. Barrero, talk to us. Tell our audience, and I know we don't have enough time because I know you have, like, you can talk for days and nights about what Dr. Gasaway has done. But if you can just let the audience know, give them a little taste and help them understand who he has been in your life.
Thank you very much for hosting April. And it's great to see Dr. Gasaway again and everyone else here. I was listening in a little bit earlier. And I just want to say that teachers and principals and school administrators and even the hall monitors, they have great impact in the lives of their students. And they have a great responsibility of structuring and restructuring the lives of people, many people around the world, and impacting our world. And Dr. Gasaway has been one of those very great pillars that has enabled me to be in the position where I am today in the Albany County Legislature, because my leadership started when he became the principal of Boys and Girls High School, where I graduated from. And I guess I don't have to say that, right? But yeah, where I graduated from in 2010. I graduated from Boys and Girls, but that doesn't say my age. Yes. So when he became principal of Boys and Girls High School, there was no student government in the school, and he wanted to give a voice to the students. And so at that time, I had just migrated from Nigeria to the United States. So I I was just 1 year, or even not up to a year, in the United States, and that was in 2009. I came here in 2008, but in 2009 he was my principal. So he wanted to give a voice to the students and decided, okay, let us form a student government and let the students run for offices. And so I heard on the speaker one of those days, and I asked, how do I become a candidate for the student government? And so he said, well, you have a good GPA. I was like, yeah, I tried. And then showed me the ropes, what I have to do. I put my name in and I started campaigning. I started talking to students. And the students always say, you have an accent. If you can say something, if you can say this, I'm going to vote for you. And then they make me say stuff, not crazy stuff, but some crazy stuff. And then I would say it, and they would say, okay, you got my vote. So I was able to talk to them, I promised them school lunches. And, a lot of the students didn't have lunches and from home. And the school, being in the school premises, offered them those school lunches and enabled them to have something to eat. And that was something that I was very glad to be able to implement more school lunches and variety of school lunches. And so Dr. Gasaway gave us that platform for us to be able to express ourselves, and gave me that platform to be able to run for my first office, even though it's a student office. But it gives me that how to talk to people to earn their vote, how to campaign. And so that has enabled me and built me up to where I am today, to be able to talk to anyone, different races, and talk and hit their issues, listen to what the issues are. So I'm very grateful to have Dr. Gasaway, and I was very honored to have him at my swearing in ceremony, where he actually held the Bible that I was sworn on. So thank you very much, Dr. Gasaway,
You're
for
welcome.
being such a great pillar in my life.
Thank you.
Thank you, Baroro. Um, an honor to meet you, an honor to have you. Thank you for carrying the torch for those to come, uh, breaking barriers and having the courage. And I'm thankful that you ended up in the hands of the amazing Dr. Gassaway, who gave
Thank
you the opportunities. And wow, right? To think about Dr. Gassaway and have him come in and hold the Bible for your swearing in.
Oh yes, it was such a great honor.
Yes. Thank you. Miss Jada Leslie Francis, how are you, my dear?
I'm good. I'm good. How are you today?
I'm well. Thank you. I want to tell you how proud I am of you, because in my brief conversation with you, your courage and your strength and your desire and your happiness to be here for Dr. Farrington just came through the phone. And you were just like, it doesn't matter. Like, whatever you say, whatever time, it's not too late. Call me now. Like, I'm here for it. Thank you. I know, young people, you have so many things to do. Your lives are going, it's 80 something degrees outside, and you were totally committed to being here. So thank you. Thank you for answering the call. And if you can speak to tell the audience why, what was that why? Why were you so eager to be here, Dr. Farrington?
So when I got the call, like 2 days ago from Mr. Smith, I didn't know who it was at first. And I picked up and he was like, well, hey Jada, like I want you to do something for Miss Harrington and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, hello, who's this? And he was like, Mr. Smith, you don't know my voice? And I was like, I don't know nobody's voice nowadays. Everybody sound the same. But when he said Miss Barrington, instantly my response was yes. Like it wasn't a question, it wasn't a doubt, it wasn't like, oh, think about it, maybe I'll be busy or something. Like it was automatically yes. Because of everything that Miss Farrington has given to me. And I felt like it was only right, that I do this for her. Because, when I started at research, I remember the first day, we was doing the little interview process of me meeting Miss Farrington. Of course, she's at the same place she always at in the hallway, like has the desk set out in the hallway. Like she has an office, but she sits in the middle. of the hallway with her desk and everything. She doesn't work out there. And, I started to have, I came from a really, really bad high school. I was 2 grades behind. And, I came there, was like, okay, I'm gonna get my stuff and I'm gonna get out. This ain't gonna be like some kumbaya high school. Like, I didn't know what I was expecting. And so when I was in there, it's like when you go and research, you don't go there to just, go to school. Like, you build a family with these people and you build an interaction that's so unique, and every single body in research cares about you. And especially Miss Farrington, having a principal that actually cares about their students is the most amazing feeling in the world. Miss Farrington has been the only principal that I've ever had that dedicated her life, her everything to her students. So there is no question on, like, will you do this and like anything, because the answer is yes, because Miss Farrington has given everything for us. So that is the least I can do, to thank her for everything that she's done for me. And without Miss Farrington, I don't think, I'm trying not to get emotional and cry, but like, I was supposed to graduate in like 2022 because I was so far behind. And I was determined, and without research, I would have never been able to graduate, like, probably like 4 months, like, after, like, my original, the age that I'm supposed to graduate. So in 2019, I was supposed to graduate. And I was so upset when I didn't graduate, with my friends, but I was determined to get it. And, Miss Farrington and Miss Holmes and everybody in research made it possible for me to graduate in December, literally like 4 months after. And I was busting my butt doing online classes, being after school all the time. And Miss Farrington is research is the only school that I know that on Fridays they make you breakfast. Like, full on, got a kitchen, making waffles, got everything for you in the back. Like, she does everything for her students and she dedicated her life. I don't know how many times I can say this because it's so true. Because she gives her life to us. And this is, I'm not going to get emotional. I'm not. She dedicates her life to us. And it's so, oh my God. Thank
Jada,
you, Miss Farrington. I'm trying not to cry.
it's okay, my dear. Jada, I wanted the audience to hear your voice. And I want them to feel your emotion because you said something so key. Dr. Farrington is the only principal you know of. She's the first principal you met in that role who has run a school in a way you've never seen a school run, who has cared for and loved on her children in a way you've never seen a leader do before. And because of that, you have graduated. You are so confident. You are so articulate. It's a pleasure to hear your voice. You mentioned the Friday breakfast. If you can mention, and I know just like Burl, you guys can go on all day and all night. We don't have all day and all night, but if you can just give a couple of other things that happens at research that you don't know of happening or you've never experienced in any of your prior experiences with school.
Oh, of course, I can go on and on about that. Free trips. I went to Kalahari twice, didn't pay for a single thing. They went to trips to Japan. I was so upset when we didn't go to South Africa. I was really, really upset. We was like, Miss Farrington was on me about getting my passport. Like, she was like, Jada, did you get your passport yet? Did you get your passport yet? Did you get your passport yet? Because she really wanted, it was a free trip to South Africa, all paid for. Every trip that we've ever been in, we went for free, didn't have to pay for anything, not lunch. We've never had to pay for lunches. She literally used to have like just all like everything from Bed-Stuy fish fry, especially like Regents Week, it is like all out. Like she buys everything for us, have everything ready for us, so we're not tired, we're not hungry, no nothing. She literally like goes all out for us, especially like with the pantry and us getting like 10 items a week for free, anything we want in the pantry, you know, from the trips. And it's not even about, you know, how much stuff that we get for free. It's just the amount of love that we get from, you know, from the teachers. So it's like it's not just based around on what we get from her. It's about the love that we, you know, share from each other and learning about our Black history. The only school that I know that does not just do Black history on February, does it all year round. You know, and I could go on and on about research, but we'll be running out of time by then.
Thank you, Jada. Thank you. Dr. Gassaway and Dr. Farrington. I'll let Dr. Gassaway answer first. Um, so I told you you were coming back on to talk about to continue the conversation about the importance of community partnerships and the roles that principals should take within their community and leadership development. Hearing from your grads this evening and hearing their testimony, Dr. Gasway, what would you like to say to leaders who are currently sitting in the seat, leaders who are thinking about coming into the seat? And before you get to that, feel free to say whatever you would like to Barrero as well.
Before he actually goes on, can I jump in real quick?
Yes, sir.
Oh yeah. So just to add to what I said earlier, Dr. Gasaway did give us, not just me, a lot of us, the platform to excel as students and to be successful. And Dr. Lester Young was just here, but I was introduced to Dr. Lester Young when I was a student at Boys and Girls High School. And through Dr. Gassaway, I was able to meet these great people, former Congressman E.D. Towns, Assembly Member Charles Barron, and so on and so forth, Alvan, and all those great people and great leaders. And so, because I was meeting with them through the platform that Dr. Gassaway gave to us, I was able to say that I want to be in their position one day because I saw what they were doing. I was talking to them, and Dr. Gassaway also gave me the platform to be able to speak anywhere in the state of New York in the best interest of Boys and Girls High School. And that has never been done to any student, pretty much. And so I was able to use that to actually write to former First Lady Michelle Obama, Oprah Winfrey, and Al Sharpton, the Reverend Al Sharpton, to attend our graduation. And Al Sharpton did actually honor that invitation and was the guest speaker at the graduation. And so this platform Dr. Gasaway gave to us, we were able to utilize it and see the great results today. So thank you.
Thank you.
So it's really hard to speak. Really, it's rare that I find myself speechless, and I have so much respect for the honorable Carwell, and I say that because when we have elected officials across this country, that is the title, the honor that they get before their name. So when we speak of him, we say the honorable Carwell, and we. You asked the question about as principals look at this, or what do we teach them? I just say look at him and look at the two of our special guests in terms of what they represent. They represent more than what we can say. He asked me if I would come to his swearing in, And I believe this was like a couple of days after Christmas. And I got in the car with my wife, and I'm sure some people on the put things like, "Why are you married?" Yes, I'm married. So I got in the car with my wife, and we drove to his ceremony. And then he surprised me with the honor of holding the Bible. And I'll be honest, I didn't feel worthy of that because it's just, I guess that's what we I just didn't, because he just means so much. He epitomizes. If I had a son, I would hope that my son would be half of a young man that he is, because he's always been that way since I met him. I give so much credit to his parents, his father, and yeah, he's the real deal, and he's just a great person. So I just say, look at what our young people are doing, and they speak for us. I don't know, I can't say anything that could match the brilliance. I haven't met the young lady, but I see the brilliance in her as well. And so I just say to leaders, listen to our young, because oftentimes they have the answers and they also have the courage. We just have to help facilitate that. So thank you, my brother. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Gasaway. Dr. Farrington, if you had time to gather yourself.
So you got the most thugged out punk bitch ever. Sorry. Y'all got me. Jada, I love you. And I love everything that you are and everything I know that you are going to be. When I founded research, a lot of people laughed at me because I wanted to lead with love. And they didn't understand that loving Black children was the answer to Black children. The most active time Black children spend in their lives is in a school building. So you got to love them down. And people didn't get that initially. So when I started loving you guys down, because I knew that it was the love that I needed to receive in order to be successful in school and in life, I said, let me just simply reciprocate that. Because I love who you don't know you are going to be yet. I love that person because I see it. Somebody saw it in me. And I thought that it was the simplest notion. And hearing your words today really inspired me to do so much more, because a lot of, I'm sorry, I'm trying not to get emotional. April, you got me. I'm gonna hurt you. We gonna talk later. A lot of what I want to do for young people, a lot of people are actually opposed to. And I need you guys to really understand that. A lot of people are opposed to spending money on a pantry. A lot of people are opposed to international trips or even local or national trips. And for me, having you guys experience the fact that you belong in the world and the world is greater than your block is so important to me, because it is what allowed me. Now, my experience, the only reason why I had to experience another block is because somebody wanted to kill me. I want you to experience another block so you can just simply live and bloom more lives. And people don't understand and don't endorse that. So my thinking behind what I want to do for children, not research, children in general. And I will always call you guys children, because I've often said, these kids are 18. We got to give them a childhood and an adulthood at the exact same time. So when people don't understand why at 20, I'm bringing children to Disney World, it's because I need you all to be happy and love and laugh and joke, but understand how to bestow upon your future generations how to be lucky, laugh, and joke as well. So I thank you for your kind words. April, we're going to fight. We are going to fight later because this is not what I'm used to. But I love you, Jada. And if there's anything I can do for you, I will continue to do for you because, as your shirt says, from that year, I need you to understand the importance of you.
I love you too, Miss Remington.
Tell her she's muted.
Because this is what it's all about. Not only that I want to treat the audience to understanding the magic that happens when we simply love on our kids, when we simply give everything, including the unthinkable, to get our young people to strive, to put them in positions where they can win and succeed. But beyond that, I wanted to take these moments to honor the both of you and let you hear the voices that sometimes we can't hear in the middle of the noise, in the process of the war, right? When we're in the trenches and we're fighting the war. And I know that it's been a hell of a year for all of us. And Dr. Farrington, I know how hard you fight, sis. We go back and forth all the time. And I just wanted you to hear Jada's voice today to re-energize, to rejuvenate your spirit right now. And Dr. Gassaway, you're always just so incredibly humble. And I don't think that you always know the power that you have in who you are and how Allison and myself, we're here because of you. I know I'm here only because of you. So to hear Baroro come, I needed you to hear his words as well. I know how hard you've been fighting, Dr. Gassaway. And I hope that his words, too, gave you that same sense of re-energizing, motivation, and knowing that as long as we continue to love and be who we are, in spite of and despite of all the opposition that's going to come our way, we know we're doing the right thing. I want to bring Lays back in right now. Lays, can you come back in?
I'm here, sis. First of all, what a great show. Take your time for a second. I just want to say I want to give the last words to Dr. Gassaway and Dr. Farrington, but I just want to just commend you again on a great show. Talking with Grit is a very powerful platform, powerful program. Shout out to Dr. Lester Young because you're seeing it, the bandwidth of what we're doing. You're bringing these young people on and you're showing why we're fighting and what the fight's about. And I think that's what people need to continue to understand, what the fight's about, because the opposition is organized and they mean us harm. So we have to get back to work and we have to stay focused, keep our eye on the prize. And I know Dr. Gassaway, but I want to go to Dr. Farrington first before because I love to close out with Dr. Gassaway. But Dr. Farrington, I mean, just seeing these people from your spot, man, how you feel about that?
Y'all killed me tonight. Like I said, I'm supposed to be the thug in the group. Y'all got me in some flowers shirt, like this little shirt on.
That's all right. Thugs like flowers too.
And just a little. Let me say this really quick. Do not go abuse Chris. Let me publicly first thank Mr. Smith for coming through for me, but do know that I was being me, and Chris was being Chris. And when I threw it out there, his excitement and his joy in honoring and celebrating the both of you was just amazing. And he was like, I got you, sis. And I knew he was going to be in a little hot water, especially with you. So I just want to let you know that he did it for me, but he did it for you. So please love on him when you get back in that building.
Smith, we're fighting tomorrow because my staff knows I do what I do because it's right for children. Just that simply. It's what's right because it's right. And I appreciate roses right now, but I never want them again. I want my children to receive all of the roses because they've produced. So I thank y'all. I truly, truly, truly thank y'all. I'm inspired to give more and to do more. And as soon as we get off, I promise you I'm going to be in my journal to 2 o'clock in the morning thinking about what more can I do for young people because they just deserve more. And Dr. Gasway, you know, I've said this to you a million times. I thank you for giving me the opportunity. I really do. And I will always, always, always remember every lesson that you taught me, all the backbone that you instilled in me, and most importantly, the trust that you have for me to hold young people at the forefront of my mission and vision, brother. I thank you.
God bless you, sister. Dr. Gasaway, so you're seeing the fruit of your labor. You see their hearts pouring out the emotion of these people that have given their lives to this. But I'm going to give you a very tough. I'm going to say something hard to you. You know, it's not enough. We need more, right? We need more. We need more. So what are we doing, Doc? I mean, we need more, and we need more guidance from you. We need more. What are we going to do?
Well, I think first of all, I want to thank the two fabulous people, including yourself, in terms of April Leong and Allison Farrington. As they were speaking, I was thinking, like, so what was my role? And at times as a leader, you know, I was a fireman, but I think my most treasured role was that of a farmer, where I simply planted seeds. And to see the two of them, what they have done. And it's really interesting because I look at the way I led as a principal and a superintendent, and then I say how much better the two of them are than I was. and so I just look at them and marvel at what they're able to do. And so they may give me some credit for it, but I'm really looking at them and I'm saying, well, I don't know how much I had to do with that. It's really them in terms of their work ethic. I worry about them because that little insanity that's in me is also in them. And I believe that there's a taste of insanity, a bit of insanity is needed to face that formidable opposition that has much more resources than we have. So what we need more of is what's being presented, things like today with OSG, with platforms like this. We need to bring our children forward. We need to bring those exemplary leaders like you have in this show forward. And there are others, and we need to continue to encourage those who are afraid to be strong, you know, to be strong because our children need us. And so I'll be there in the ways that I can be there. I actually have a headache now because of, you know, I guess the weight of the surprise. But I thank you all. I thank you, Brother Lays, for being a trooper and bringing your expertise. You know, because we're from the same place. So when I listen to you, I'm like, it gives me like flashbacks. Coco Olivia. The only thing we didn't talk about was CeeLo, but that's for another.
CeeLo, yeah. Well, a lot of CeeLo.
I got the bank.
Keeping it real. So God bless everyone, and those of you on the listening to the show, I wish you empowerment and strength and courage.
Thank you. Thank you.
Doc.
Lydia, are you available, Lydia?
So no, this is your show, Sister
She's not here.
Avenger.
You see, so I'm always trying to thank the people behind the scenes, right? Because
You close us out, April.
we have amazing people working behind the scenes. Thank you. This has been an amazing show. I hope everyone is thinking about what do I have to do next? I meaning you. You are the solution. We are the solution. What is the role you're going to play in young people's lives tomorrow, in your community, in your schools, whether you're a teacher, principal, it doesn't matter. In the words of our babes, they loved us, they believed in us, and because of that love, whatever they want, I'm going to give them. So please continue to love on your children. In the words of Akbar Cook, focus on the love. This is Talk with Grit. Generate results, inspire transformation. We are the solution. Good night. Stay safe.